Hey, second grade, welcome back to story time. We're going to get back to our Mercy Watson book, Something Wonky This Way Comes. We're on chapter 4. Remember, we had a whole convertible full of people heading to go see When Pigs Fly at the Bijou Drive-In Theater. So we're now at chapter 4. We're going to meet a new person. Chapter 4. Leroy Knicker was a small man with big dream. Leroy Knicker wanted to become a cowboy. But for now, Leroy was working at the Bijou Drive-In concession stand. Leroy Knicker was selling bottomless buckets of popcorn. Yeehaw, he shouted. That's right, it's real butter, folks. Top quality, bottomless, and out of this world. Yeehaw! And there is our little friend Leroy showing off the real butter for the popcorn. In between pouring butter and popping popcorn, Leroy Knicker worked on his lasso skills. What a great chapter to start reading on our Cowboy Cowgirl Day. We're meeting a little cowboy right now. He twirled the lasso, he made the lasso whistle, he lassoed a bottomless bucket, he lassoed a stool. Yeehaw, he sang, there's nothing wrong about my skills with a lasso. So there's Leroy. He's got his rope in his hand and he is lassoing the bottomless bucket of popcorn. Chapter 5. The Watsons' convertible pulled up to the Bijou ticket window. Help you, said the ticket seller, Beatrice Leopon. We are here to see When Pigs Fly, said Mr. Watson. Beatrice Leopon took her glasses off. She put her glasses back on. She blinked. And this is Beatrice, the ticket lady. Look at that car full of everyone. Pardon me and all, said Beatrice, but I'm seeing things kind of wonky. Is that a pig in the back seat of your vehicle? Her name is Mercy, said Mr. Watson. She is our darling, our dear, said Mrs. Watson. I'm not sure pigs are allowed at the Bijou, said Beatrice Leopon. Actually, said Mr. Watson, she is a porcine wonder. Do you allow porcine wonders? Porcine wonders, said Beatrice. Yes, said Mrs. Watson. Beatrice blinked. I don't think there are any rules against porcine wonders, she said. Excellent, said Mr. Watson. Good evening to you then, Beatrice blinked again. She adjusted her glasses. Wonky, said Beatrice. Wonky in the extreme. Chapter 6, our last chapter for today. Mercy put her snout up in the air. She sniffed. There was a wonderful smell. There was an incredible smell. The wonderful, incredible smell was everywhere. The wonderful, incredible smell was butter. Mr. Watson said, I think it's time for a bottomless bucket. Frank, why don't you and I go and get some treats for the ladies? So there's Mr. Watson and the little boy Frank going to get the popcorn for all the ladies. At the concession stand, the little man behind the counter said, Yeehaw, what do you know? Hey, said Mr. Watson, you're the man who robbed us. Robbed you? Said Frank. Yes, said Mr. Watson. He tried to take our toaster. My name is Leroy Knicker, said the little man. You're a thief, said Frank. Reformed, said Leroy. I'm a reformed thief, studying to be a cowboy. Well, good for you, said Mr. Knicker, said Mr. Watson. We would like several bottomless buckets. Butter on those buckets, said Leroy. Would you like a great deal of butter on those buckets, said Mr. Watson. Oh, sorry, let me read that again. We would like a great deal of butter on those buckets, said Mr. Watson. Yee-haw, said Leroy. That's the way to go. So there is Frank and Mr. Leroy at the counter. And then there is our friend Leroy at the back making the popcorn. See, he's got that like eye mask on that you sometimes see in movies on the top of his hat. Remember when they were calling him a thief? And that is the end of our time together tonight. So when we come back tomorrow, we'll start reading chapters 7, chapter 8, and chapter 9. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.